I'm our Sky Palkowitz, and I'm speaking with Ron from Florida about Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States. Ron, you're just in town in D.C. here for a conference. Tell us a little bit about it.
It is the Healthcare Design, one of the largest design conferences for healthcare projects in the country. It was a 3-day show over at the Gaylord Entertainment Center here in D.C. And me and one of my associates came down on Sunday and finished up this afternoon.
So what was Election Day like for you in Florida?
Well, it was weird. In our office, we were very disappointed with what we heard about both the day of and the following day. But the city as a whole did almost a 180 from the 4 years prior to that. I'm not quite sure why. There's a lot of guesswork on my part and some people we've talked to, but I'm not quite sure if I feel comfortable enough saying that on camera.
Okay.
So you can edit that out.
You were at work the day of the election. Did you
Correct.
make it to the polls to vote?
I actually went early. I went on Sunday, and I convinced my wife for the first time after 36 years to vote for her first time.
Wow, that's
so
great.
Got her and her sister, who had never voted before, to go with us.
Why was it so important this election?
Because prior to that, she didn't know me, and it had never been an important part of her process. And personally, I think it's something we should all be able to do. And I did it 3.5 months after I was legally able to vote for the first time, and have voted every election ever since.
And being in the healthcare field, what are your thoughts and feelings about how Obama will handle the issue of healthcare in America?
You know what, I'm not really sure. I think he's got some ideas that have some potential, and I think he's got some ideas that I think can hurt us. The biggest concern I have is what he's going to do to the small business and the effect that it's going to take on somebody like myself who works for a mid to small size business, and whether the ownership group is going to be able to afford insurance for all his employees. And if that doesn't happen any longer and he's forced to either make additional sacrifices or contributions, then he's going to have to consider whether he gives that as an additional bonus to his employees.
Now, Obama considers himself a man of change and that he wants to change our country. What are the changes that you'd like to see happen in this term?
God. I guess the biggest change I would like to see is some honesty. That whenever somebody's going to do something, don't just say it because that's what the people want to hear or what he thinks people want to hear. He's going to do something, he's going to say something, follow it up. He's got no excuses at this point. First time in, 40 years that we've got a Democratic House, Senate, and Democratic President sitting at the same time. He's got no excuses. And if he says he's really believing in this change, then he needs to make that happen. If he doesn't, it's going to be a short 4 years and he'll find somebody else that will.
And Obama is the first president ever to be elected that's of African American descent. What's the feeling in Florida? You know, friends, family, relatives, what are people thinking about that?
Honestly, from the people I knew, I don't think that was ever an issue. I still don't think that was an issue. I think some of the decisions with some people around this country made that the only issue. That's a lot of reasons I think we had such a large turnout in certain populations and certain segments of this population. But personally, I didn't care whether it was white, green, black, male, female. As long as what they said is going to be followed up, I'm okay with that. I heard a lot of things. He needs to back it up. If not, I'm going to be very disappointed, and I will voice my concerns like I have for the last 4 years.
Well, let's hope that Obama is a man of his word and makes positive changes for our country. Ron, I want to thank you so much for joining us.